Hold on, let me turn
Sit down for a second. Let me get on here, Cam. I got to get this recording jumping. Hey, everybody on Facebook. We'll be starting in literally about 5 seconds. Hang on. All right, and a wonderful evening to you and yours. Jacque Howard here, and welcome to the Trenton 365 show. As you can see, I'm not in the studio of WIMG, but this is what the world looks like that we're in now. I am broadcasting from my deck in Franklin Park in the Franklin Park section of Trenton, New Jersey, New Jersey's capital city. And I got some of my artwork over my shoulders. I got red, gray, and blue. They are upcycled, repurposed works of art that hopefully one day I'll share. But my guest tonight is someone who I encourage you to make sure that you follow up with and check him out. We're going to be talking to Karey Maurice Counts, aka Camo. And Karey has been a fixture in the art and music and cultural scene, not only in Trenton, but beyond for many, many years. And during tonight's conversation, we're going to talk a little bit about his artwork. We're going to talk a little bit about his relationship with Keith Haring and what took place in the New York art scene. We're also going to be talking about what we need to do as a community, in particular in Trenton, to create an arts marketplace, or at least the importance of having an arts marketplace. And Karey's also going to talk to you about some of the projects he has going on, such as he's got a skate deck that he's designed. He's working on a custom pair of shoes for me, because y'all know I am a Puma head. So Karey's going to have a pair of custom Pumas that he's going to do for me, which will be one of a kind. In addition to that, you'll also have opportunities to do that. Well, we're also going to have Karey share his PayPal information at the end of the segment, because just like anything else, if you like something, put a few dollars behind it. And I think that this would be helpful. Whatever you can send over to Karey Maurice Counts to help him continue with his revolution of art that he's doing and documenting the life that he lives, then maybe you can support him with that as well. So without any further ado, my man, Karey Maurice Counts. Camo, what's up? There we are. So, all right.
No time.
Yeah, I didn't, before we jump right into it, I want you to talk a little bit about you have those gloves on. And I want people to know exactly what space that you're coming from. They're not boxing gloves, right?
No. These are my hands, literally. I have to put these on to do what all of you people do normally. Otherwise, it don't happen. That's just the long and short of it. They're carpal tunnel, this, that, the other thing. These hands look beautiful. I could be a hand model, but they really don't work. So go figure. Beauty and the Beast.
So, Karey, your sense of humor is one that I enjoy, and we've chatted on many occasions where you had my stomach in knots from laughing so hard. It's your health condition is a very serious one, and you choose not to look at it in that light at times. Can you just share what happened and what your disability is?
I fell down a lot, but that's early as a kid and all that, but it does lead up to what I'm about to say, about getting injured as an adult and all that. Is that, 14 years ago, fell down, got hurt, was paralyzed, couple days, got up, walked, miraculous, miracle, God came down, saved me, all that good stuff. Then I went to physical therapy, and I'm still doing therapy just to maintain a normal lifestyle. As a result of COVID-19, the gyms are not open, so therefore, it's pretty difficult to maintain the regimen that I require to keep myself going. So it's been pretty tough lately to keep exercising, to keep my, again, pain levels down to their tolerable rate where I can work, function, do some normal stuff, look good, not with the grit every day, So again, I do try to use humor to deal with this, because I can't explain to anybody what it feels like, so might as well be funny about it. Everybody loves humor, ha ha ha. But behind the humor, there's some serious stuff. With all comedians, they'll tell you that. This doesn't come from a happy place. You know what I mean? Nothing good comes from anything happy. You know what I mean? It comes from something bad, worse, rough, tough. You got to go through something. So that was that. That's what this is. There's more braces and stuff. I'm not wearing a cervical collar because I wanted to look a little better tonight. Sport jacket, little collar pin, correct?
Camel,
You gotta look normal, man. You know what I mean?
dig it.
So, again, I'm busted up, but I just don't look like it tonight, all
Mhm.
right? So that's it.
Awesome. I do want you to touch on this as well. I mean, you're also been an advocate for and letting people know the importance of medical marijuana and cannabis in helping you feel better or being able to function.
I just did a Zoom conference yesterday with the pain management doctor and an official from the state of New Jersey, because this thing has jumped over to this legal issue and all that stuff. Everybody's happy. But, I've been a patient for I don't know how many years now, but it's enabled me to function again like a normal person. Although I suffer, no one would know it and know what I consume to do what I do, but it is 80% of my wellness treatment.
And thank you for being candid and sharing that. And I think it's important for more people to recognize the importance of this plant in the functionality of lives of so many. And so thank you for sharing that. Cameron, now I want to jump back a few decades prior to that, and I want to jump back to the 80s. I want you to take us back to the 80s. You in Ewing Public Schools, living in the
Oh my
living
God.
in the dog patch section of Ewing / Trenton, and spending time, going up to New York City. What was that Karey Maurice Counts like?
Oh boy. Wow. Okay. I'm trying to keep this truncated short. I want to give you as much as you can get out of me tonight. Whatever. I was in the garden today. My back hurts. So we're gonna do the best we can. If you mention Ewing High School, forget about it. Okay. I'm not a school person. And at high school level, I was already in New York City. All right. The only how I passed and graduated is because some of my teachers, one English teacher in particular, we ended up meeting each other at the same club in New York. I was 15, you know. So, once she saw me up there in New York, she just kind of like, I kind of understand, where you want to be or whatever. So they kind of gave me a little slack, but it was a question of one test whether I got out of there or not, But I was a very adventurous kid. I rode a skateboard to school, didn't want to take the bus, because it was all crazy and wild. You know what I mean? I had already like social problems, issues, and just kind of I wasn't weird looking, but the teasing and the weird. I'm writing about all this stuff. I don't want to give it away, but it was just very strange for me socially. So I kind of started slipping away little by little. Philadelphia, then it became New York City, and once I hit New York and started trying to find where to go, Washington Square Park was what I was looking for. Ended up in Union Square Park thinking it was Washington Square Park for about a year and a half, but I figured it out. But my drive was due to my creative abilities, and I needed somewhere to put it. I needed somewhere to feel like me, somewhere that I could blow off some steam, man, some energy. I still have it, but I can't really move as good. But I got to go to New York now just to blow it off. I can't be here too much longer. For a while till I have to take off, man, and just bite the bullet, deal with the pain, and get up out of here and hit the city, man. And I'm home. I just built New York has been all my whole life. So although Ewing, growing up there and playing and riding skateboards and what I mean, dreaming about a different life, even the one that I have, I never thought, I'd be where I'm at now. I was a dreamer. So I had to go through a lot of what any person that would want to be successful has to do, which is to give up a lot. You got to, an amazing amount of things you think you can have and try to have a career, and you can't. It doesn't work that way. So, girlfriends, dating, I watch my friends, date, girlfriends, movies. Why you ain't got no woman? I'm always questioned about the woman issue and all this kind of stuff. It was crazy, man. They was, tagging me as gay, because they didn't have a woman. And I just, man, like I said, that would force anybody out here, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If you were teased like that and challenged in that way and challenge your manhood being challenged, well, why not go to New York and be challenged at the Paradise Garage? You want your manhood challenged. You know what I mean? That's some real serious stuff there. So if we want to talk about manhood, going to nightclubs, being alone by yourself in New York, stuff like that. I mean, you got challenged, all right. So I had to go through that, you know, as a pre-teen, trying to become a man, you know, then I ended up having a child at 19, you know. I'm getting trying to grow up too fast. I'm grateful for it now. I'm grateful for all that's happened, beautiful grandkids and all that stuff, and I can enjoy them now at this age. That was a wonderful move. But in hindsight, I wouldn't ask anybody or say to anyone, yeah, go ahead and, you know, try to be an adult at 19 years old. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, all that adult activity, all that grown up behavior at 19 is ridiculous, man. That's what catches us quickly. TV pushes it, our social activity pushes it. You know what I mean? It's like wrong, man. We need time to develop, you know. And I didn't think it was fair that I had to pick up speed and really push it, but you know, I had to do that. You know, I had to get up out of here.
You know, I want to jump in and interrupt and talk about that, how that led to the formation of what your content is for making art. I know I've seen some of your work and how it was so specific to the current times, although it was created prior or about the future. And one piece I'm thinking about is the social justice piece with the police that you were working on, and how that relates to what's going on today with law enforcement.
Oh man, you know, listen, I jumped on that subject and topic way before George Floyd, way before. I mean, you know me, Jacque. You know, everything is way before. Most people don't even see this stuff. I still haven't exposed it to the world or anyone's. It's all hidden underneath my bed, hidden in the closet, hidden in my warehouse. Everything is just tucked away, waiting for the world to catch up to me or something like that. You know, I don't know. But the particular series you're talking about with the police manual that I got my hands on, you know, training methods and all this kind of stuff, and weaponry and art and munitions, guns, M16s, all that stuff. I got all this stuff compiled into making a series of work that people are really quite afraid to touch. The reason why it's not being produced right now is because it was so hot when I introduced it to a printer that we were apprehensive to start production. It's still hot. I mean, with some of the imagery I picked, you can't get your hands on this stuff unless you got a police manual or something. So the imagery is coming direct and live from a real police method or methodology, a book on how to enforce the public. That's what I'm working with. So I'm still working with it. I'll say secretly, I'm always working on something. You know, I can never just pull out, hey, I got this, I got that. It's impossible to post stuff on Instagram, Facebook. I'm 24/7, 365 up in here. You know, it's just a constant. One series gets done, tucked away. Next series, next project, next piece, next. It just doesn't stop because the outside world for me has always been something weird and crazy and something I've been kind of hard for me to deal with. So my life is art. I am art, you know? That's why I wear that crown every now and then. I'm not wearing it tonight, but dude, nobody, I mean, I don't even brag. You know, I'm not one of them dudes. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm better than you. I'm like this. I'm like, no, I just produce the work. And if you want to see it spread out, give me 2 museums and you got a deal because I can fill both of them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that drive, man. You know what I mean? I'm sure everybody can hear my voice. I got it, man. You know, I don't play. I don't play. Yeah. You know, this is me.
So we go through this time in public school where you publicly said, look, you know, school just wasn't your thing. Like you had different ambitions or whatever, and you were fortunate enough to be on the East Coast, so you could go to Philly, you could go to New York, you know, experience some nightlife. Talk about the art experiences that you had traveling to Philadelphia and to New York, and then the creation, the moment when the aha moment for you when you started making your work.
Well, see, my aha moment started as a child because of my father's business and employment. I've talked about this in a few interviews. I just dropped another interview last night about this, is that my father's employment gave me everything I saw about visual communication and how to make it, produce it, you know, and all that as a kid. So again, I'm coming into the world with knowledge, with skills, not just knowing something, but I could actually do something. Okay. So now speed it up into how to apply that and make it my reality, make it my life, was that when I hit the city, well, I did a lot of reading first, of course. You know, you don't never just jump into something, you got to study. So I picked up magazines, all the social magazines, and everything I get my hands on, paper magazine, interview. Back then it was the Village Voice, back in the 1977, 79, 80, something like that. I was reading the Village Voice and started picking up on the ads in the back for the clubs and all that. And then I found out once I got to the clubs, there were art shows and things. Artists were showing artworks inside the clubs. They were orchestrating exhibitions in the clubs. They was doing shows. They were doing their thing. I mean, there's a lot of publication things about this now. Talking about the 80s New York art scene, downtown New York, you know, Basquiat, you know, Keith Haring, Kenny Sharp. These are people I'm rolling with, hanging out. I'm a kid hanging with these people. I come home back to Jersey, nobody believed a word I said. Nobody, because we didn't have pictures, cameras, you know what I mean, posing, selfies, all this crazy stuff. We weren't doing that. We were just living, man. You know, and the people who became successful out of that really had a higher drive than the one I'm expressing. So, you know, this is where I learned to really get down and get dirty with producing some work and doing it nonstop, because they were that way. And I go in somebody's studio, they're hanging, they're working at the same time. You know, it's like there's no separation, like I talked to you in my last interview, no separation between what you want to do and how you want to do it and how you live it, because you'll never make it if you're doing something else and then trying to do that too. Like I said, you got to give something up. So I learned in New York from these guys, you know, what they were willing to sacrifice, and some of them are not here today because of that. Rest in peace, Keith Haring. Rest in peace, Jean-Michel Basquiat. But you all have to understand something about the gamble and risk you have to take to get to that level. That's what was up. Everybody's talking about, you know, how the bright lights and stars and all this kind of stuff. But the serious matter was the 24/7, 365 studio activity that I encountered when I went up there, you know. And I come back and try to report back and tell people, they all laughed at me. You didn't know, you don't know Keith Haring, you don't know. See, all this stuff, it happens all the time down there. You know, I mean, I won't call nobody out. I won't do anything like that right now. I just will simply say nobody believed a word I was saying. And I got it all around my walls now and all that. I can prove it. I got pictures, photographs, the whole nine, interviews. All it's all here now. Can't put it back in the box. So again, the drive came after leaving and realizing and seeing. Once I saw it and saw it was possible and saw these cats had dough, had money, taking me out, pulling out 50s for fives. Come on, really? Wasn't no, oh, you're not going to make it until you're dead. These guys are successful, showing me how to do it, talking to me about this is what you got to do. At the same time, peeling off, paying $50 for a hamburger or something, you know what I mean, with a $40 tip. Mm-hmm. Like that. So again, if you see that, there's no way you're going to back away and say, oh, no, it's not for me. I don't think I can handle it. You know, you're in the game. Once someone, a master, let's say, introduces you to the game or jumps you in the game, you're in the game. But you have to have someone introduce you to it. You don't just jump in and say, I'm in, and try to ride somebody's coattail or jump on somebody's back and jump that and jump. You're playing leapfrog. You leap over this one and then you end up leaping into a brick wall because you didn't hit the master's plan.
Yeah. Finally. So I want to jump in there, Karey, because I mean that is something that we could definitely go into a lot, especially when we start talking about mentors, mentorship, and apprenticeships and those things, and how you have to be in the right space from all parties involved for it to be successful. Because if not, I think those who remember the 80s video game Frogger is a great example of that. It's very easy to lose on that game when you play Leapfrog. Yeah. So, but Karey, I want to switch and make sure that we cover a few things that you have going on.
Let's move because everything is just popping.
Yeah, I know, man. I got you. So I want to talk about your art creation and some of the more recent projects, and I want you to start with the one that's on your lapel.
Gender equality, one size fits all, humanity's panties. however you want to say it, it still says the same thing. Enough is enough, you know? I mean, if you're not a human being, you're not portraying yourself as a human, you're not sharing yourself as a human, what are you? So I came up with this design and pen for an identification. You know, I don't mean to be quite strict with it or how they did, you know, in Nazi Germany, however, you know, with the pink symbol on the Jewish people, and especially when they're gay, you know, this has all the colors, you know, including brown. You know, I didn't leave nothing out, but it's all inclusive. This is what it means, you know what I mean? And the X, you know, these bones actually relates to the old Skull and Bones Club, which me being here in Princeton, you know, it's the old boys club. You know, it's big money, it's big secrets. So my humorous way of turning that around, you know, with a pair of drawers, aka cause, you know, if anybody knows that guy or whatever, I got the X's on there. You know, I'm playing on pop culture because pop culture is just playing off of pop. You know, it's just gonna jump again, leapfrog again with the, I'm talking about contemporary art. I don't want to get that deep, man. But see, everything's getting appropriated and reappropriated, but nobody's coming up with nothing fresh. So again, this particular idea here is fresh. You know, it's a pair of drawers. You got to change them every day. So it's always going to be fresh. You better be fresh. So it says a lot in such a little tiny symbol. But the point about it is, man, you know, enough is enough. I mean, these people, you're Democrat, you're this, you're that. You're human. You put on a pair of underwear every day, hopefully clean. So we don't have any of these dirty problems and spreading this and spreading that. People forgot about humanity. That's why we got all this dirty running around, man. Everything's dirty. Got to clean it up.
So Karey,
Clean it up.
we got about 8 minutes in this
8
segment.
minutes.
Yeah, we got about 8 minutes left in this segment, and then we'll tape the second portion later to distribute that. But I do want you to talk about the skateboard deck that you're working on,
Oh.
my Puma sneakers that you are
Okay, let's
customizing.
do it quick. 8 minutes.
Come on, roll with it, man. Come on, man. Talk to me about the skateboarding
I
deck.
was all ready for you, but I got to lead to the segue. All right. Jacque noticed something that I created a while ago, and it was a piece of fashion or an item that I came to Macy's with, and that is, boom, my custom Doc Martin boot here, right? Okay. Now, quickly, there's a snake print on it. I don't know if you guys can see the snake. You see that snake? Oh, nice, right? Okay. I created that snake print, designed it, okay? I am an inventor, not only just making things. I invented that pattern. You can't get that unless you get it from me. Okay, that's one. Jacque saw this and now, boom, see, I got it all ready for you, Jacque. If you wanted to show, you got to show. And he delivered these. See that, everybody?
Classic bright whites, baby.
Classic Clydes. Okay, now, white. I like white. I like to work with white. I got no problem with white. I'm not against white. Okay, that's why. Okay, massage it, feel it, love it. It's all good. Don't hurt. I'm gonna paint these and hook them up. Jacque gonna get his second pair of snake, only in the world, second pair of Pumas with snake print. Got you, man. You know, thanks for the opportunity. Because again, I need projects. You know, I always have to have it going on, man. Always. So thank you. Now the skateboard. That's off in California. I haven't heard anything. It's being tested. It's going to be skated, beat it up, jumped on, hammered up, whatever they want to do to it to see if this particular application works. If in fact it does, I'm off and running with making these skateboard decks that I want a bunch of kids to get, distribute them. And the goal is again to maybe get a team together and we go up to get them to go to Woodward first for training and maybe the Olympics. So from the deck, the creation to the, you know, I thought a lot bigger than that. Now I'm thinking now, you know, getting a team together and we going to Woodward. You know, and I don't know, most skaters know when I say Woodward, they're like, whoop, they light up. Okay, I used to be a skater, so I know all about it. I want to get a team together on my deck, which is Nappy brand decks. You know, that's what I'm trying to launch. So that's two things, the fashion with the boots and the shoes and all that, and the Nappy deck. And, you know, my show's coming up in this February 2021 in California. First solo show ever. Okay, I had lots of shows, people promises, I had a lot of shit in 30 years, okay?
Keep going.
But you know, just a little emotion there going. Sorry, folks. But yeah, I mean, this show just kind of came organically after, again, 30 some odd years of working and just kind of saying, okay, I do the work. It's not up to me to drag it and nail it to the wall. I got to wait for somebody to give me the show. I got to wait for somebody to see the work, all this stuff, man. Spent a lot of money on slides over the years. God, man, hundreds of dollars on slides. And at least 30 or 40 rejection letters I put on the floor of my studio in Trenton. Just a reminder of how tough it is. You know, I got rejected so many times I could cover my floor with letters, all saying the same thing in a different way. It's almost as if the same person should have just signed them all. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, here he come again. No, we ain't letting him in. I'm talking all of them, man. I could throw names out to certain institutions. You'd be surprised that are now all on the Black artist tip. You know, it's a shame. You know, I feel like, again, with all the work that I have, everybody's doing Kumbaya and racial, and I got series upon series upon series done 30 years ago. Like, I feel pretty weird, man. You know, like, I've been here waiting, getting old, gray. I got my hat on. I'm trying to hide. My hair is busted tonight.
Well, hold on. Let me jump in here, Camo, because that, you know, we talk often, and I want to transition to talk briefly. No, we'll go a little long. We'll go. So we got like another 5 minutes. I'm pushing through here.
I'm trying to squeeze it in, man.
But no, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this because I think this is so specific to our relationship and to what we talk about all the time, and that's the art marketplace and how this art economy or art explosion or all these different things that are supposed to do to revitalize communities. How if there's no true support system behind there to support the artists, to have them sell their work, to be able to get their supplies and those things, we're just we're spitting in the wind, so to speak.
Okay, in 5 minutes, I'm gonna try it again. I gotta like squeeze this thing real tight and say.
Well, save it for the second segment. For the second segment, I'll let you run with the whole thing on that.
Let me just ask this question to kind of lead into the second segment and ask you simply this: are we talking local community things, or are we going global? Because that's two different things.
Local.
I could even say there's difference between local and national.
Local.
Local. So okay, as long as I get that in my head, because again, I gotta like back it up and say, well, how I started was I did this, but that was 30 years ago. So we're talking now and what's going on now. 2018, we can start with that, all right? How about we start year 2018 and I can say, well, my opinion is this, and then boom, bam, we'll do that. Because I gotta like say, well, because you have to ask the question, how did that happen? Right? Hard question. How did Art on Night incident, how did it happen? It just didn't just happen, okay? Nothing just happens. There's a build up to it. So what happened, right? That's what we need to know. That's what we need to ask the hard questions. We need to deal with what people's idea of art is. And everybody's got a different idea of what art is. There's Black art, there's fine art, there's art brute or untrained art, there's craft, there's all kinds of different little genres there, you know, all mixed in one. So again, on the second segment, we can talk more about this local scene or community in which I think I've divorced myself from it, point blank. So let's go there.
All right. That sounds good. Well, you know what, Karey, let's hold that for the second segment, and we'll run out with that, and then we'll just do that whole second segment on just the arts marketplace and the importance of us who support art and who believe in all segments and forms of art, how we locally can work to have a community network come together so that we can buy art and we can support the artists. Okay, man?
Yeah, man. I'm still in the game.
You got it. Karey Maurice Counts, thanks for being a guest here on the Trenton 365 show. We'll talk soon, bro.
Got it.